Okay, so as we said, the h value is going to be opposite to what we see inside the bracket. Okay, with the k value, whatever it was, that was my k value. It did not change. The h is opposite. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go to decimals, and then we're going to graph the x squared, which is my original function. And then I'm going to graph the x minus 2 squared, the x minus 4 squared, and so on. And then we're going to see what kind of transformation we have. Okay? So can you guys tell me what you're expecting, maybe? What might happen with the graph? So what kind of transformation I might have? Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of all of this. And then the first one was y equals x, what was it, plus 2 or minus 2? Minus 2 squared. Oops. So this is your original function, and this is the x minus 2 squared. Can you guys tell me, what do you see? What happened? I'm going to change this. What happened between the red function, which is your original function, and the blue function? Huh? Nothing? Did it move? Yeah, it moved to the right. How many units? 2. Where does that 2 come from? Let's look at another one. Y equals, what was the second one? X minus 4 squared? What happened? Can you compare the red one to the green one? Or the green one to the red one, sorry. Moved 4 units to the right. Where does that 4 come from? Do you see that 4 inside your bracket? That's where that 4 comes from. You see that 2 inside the bracket that you have right here? That's where that 2 comes from. So whatever your h value is, that's an indication of how many units to the left or how many units to the right you're moving. So if I have y equals x minus or plus 1 squared, now what do you see? Where did it move? It moved to the left one, because what's your h value here? No, what's your h value here? It's a -1. So because the h value is -1, it moved to the left one. Now look at your vertex. This is -1, 0. This is 2, 0. This is 4, 0. So that h value is affecting what part of the vertex? The x part or the y part? Is it affecting the x part or the y part? The x. Okay? So if I do the next one, which is y equals x plus 3 squared, where do you think the vertex is going to be? To the left 3. So my vertex is at -3, 0. Okay, so the h value is causing the x vertex, the x part of the vertex, okay, and it's causing it to move either to the left or to the right. Now, can you tell me if how's the direction of opening of all of them? Are they all opening up? Are they opening down? What do you see? Which way are they all? They're opening. They're opening up. So for all of this, we're gonna say they're opening up. How about the vertex for the first one, which is x minus 2 squared? It's going to be 2, 0, right? Remember, it's this one right here, which is 2, 0. Okay? And what happened is the h value is 2. Yeah? The h value that I just wrote right here is 2. How about the vertex for the next one? How about the vertex for this one? And for the black one? Okay. Now, the axis of symmetry, is it still the same for all of them? Is the axis of symmetry of this is the same as the axis of symmetry of this, is the same as the axis of symmetry of this? No. Right? So what's the axis of symmetry for this one right here? For x minus 2 squared? X equals 2. That's right. The axis of symmetry of x minus 4 squared? And the axis of symmetry of x plus 1 squared? X equal negative 1. And then for the x plus 3 squared is x equals negative 3. Okay? So the h value is affecting your axis of symmetry, which is the x value of your vertex. Now, if I want to describe what's happening, we are going to say it's a horizontal translation. And I'm going to write it as HT. Okay? So I have horizontal translation 2 units, right? For the second one, it's going to be horizontal translation 4 units, right? Or to the right, or whatever. I don't have room to write all of this. For the next one, it's going to be horizontal translation 1 unit left. And then horizontal translation 3 units to the left. So you have to be careful with this, that it's going to look the opposite to what you see. Okay? Whatever's inside the bracket is opposite to what you see. So how does the value of h affect the basic parabola? So when h is greater than 0, the parabola shifts to the... So when h is positive, the parabola shifts to the right. But remember that inside the bracket, it's going to look like it's a minus, right? It's going to look like it's a minus. When h is less than 0, the parabola is going to shift left. And then you're going to see that it's going to be a positive inside the bracket. The value of h describes the horizontal translation. And it provides the value for the axis of symmetry. And is the x value of the vertex. So h is the x value of the vertex. K is the, what value of the vertex is k? K is what value of the vertex? The y value of the vertex, right? It's the y value of the vertex. So h is the x value of the vertex, and k is the y value of the vertex. So my vertex is what? So that's the vertex, right? And h is the x value of the vertex, and k is the y value of the vertex. So that tells me that my vertex is actually hk, right? So whenever I have both of them in my transformation or in my function, then the h and the k values are going to determine my vertex. So let's look at this. What kind of transformation do you see here? Do you see more than one transformation? Yes. So let's start with the one inside the bracket. What do we call this? Horizontal translation. What? Horizontal translation which way? 2 units to the left. That's right. 2 units to the left. Because it's positive, that means the h value is negative. How about the negative 3? Vertical translation, yeah?
3 units down.
3 units down. Now, that being said, what is my vertex? Yeah? -2, -3. Remember, the vertex is h and k, right? So the vertex is -2, -3. Now the a value is 1, right? If there is no a value, that means it's 1. So that's my step pattern, they're not going to be affected. Okay? The minute that I have an a value other than 1, then my step pattern are going to be multiplied by that a value. Okay? So let's say if I had 4 out here, right? Then my step pattern are going to be 4 times the 135. But in this case, my a value is 1. So my step pattern are not going to change. My step pattern are going to be 1, 3, 5. That's not going to change. Okay? Technically, step pattern is a times 1, 3, 5, but my a is 1 in this case. Does that make sense to you guys? Now, my vertex is at -2, -3. Let's locate that. So, -2 and -3, 1, 2, 3, that's -3. So this is where my vertex. From my vertex, I'm going to go up 1 over 1 to both sides. So up 1 over 1. Then I'm going to go up 3. So 1, 2, 3 over 1. And if I have room, I can go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. And that is my parabola. So if my original one would be at 0, 0, right? So instead of 0, 0, I move 2 to the left and 3 down, right, to get my next vertex. Does that make sense to you guys?